Hello guys and welcome to WWtube. This is the season 4 and first of all, before we start, let me say sorry for the lighting. I have changed the my table from place, so well, let's do it. First, what is the UK is going to buy? I'm going to buy one industrial complex and one aircraft carrier for a total of 31 IPCs all spent. Combat movements. I have three combat movements, sorry. First is going to be sea battle in season 35 with this fighter is going to move 1, 2 and 3, so he will stay with one movement in his gas cage. And then we have one fighter from Egypt, is going to move 1 and 2. He will be getting 2 movements in his gas cage, okay, against the battleship and carrier from Japan. Then here in France, the cruiser from season 12 is going to move 1 and 2. The transport in season 1 is going to move 1 and 2 with the cruiser. He will be moving the tank and the infantry from Canada. Here from season 2, one battleship is going to support the attack with one transport. The transport is going to move one infantry and one artillery. Here in season 5, one bomber is going to move 1 and 2. The bomber will have 4 movements in his gas cage, and the 2 fighters from England are going to move 1 and 2. These 2 guys are going to be left, oh shit, sorry guys, with 2 movements in their gas cages. Okay, so let's start. Let me just move one light. Okay. Hope this will look good. That's it. So first we have to let me get my dice cup. That's it. Sorry guys. Let's get 2 dice, black dices from the UK in the Battle of Japan. For not Japan, the battle in season, aside from India. So we have 2 at 3 or less. We have 1 hit. Now 1 carrier at 2 or less. It's a 5. Now 1 battleship at 4 or less. We have 1 hit, and I guess Corporal Clegg would like the carrier to sunk. So let's continue with the battle. 3 or less, come on, come on. Yeah, another 1, and now the battleship, 4 or less. Okay, they just killed each other. I think I'm going to change my cup. Wait a second, because they're the same numbers in the dices. Let's try with that one. Now the battle in season 5. We have 2 fighters at 2 or less. Okay, we have a 1 and 4. Now 1 at 4 or less. We have a 2. Now let's roll for that destroyer at 2 or less. We have 1. Now let's roll for that cruiser at 3 or less. A 4. Oh my god. So destroyer, cruiser, and the transport in season 5 are destroyed, and I'm going to lose one fighter. Now, the battle in France. We have one infantry at one. Oh, yeah, first the 2 cruisers and the battleship. Let's roll for those 2 cruisers. As usual, cruisers are a piece of shit. So now let's roll for the battleship. A 5. Can you guys believe this? Now let's roll for one infantry at 1 or less. Well, just only 1. No hits. Now infantry and artillery. We have 1 hit. Now 1 tank, 3 or less. 2 hits. Now let's roll for German at 2 or less. We have 1, 2, and that's it. So let's remove casualties. Now let's roll again. 2 at 2. Well, this one is 6. It was outside. This is a 1. So let's just stay it like that. Now 1 tank 3 or less. Another 6. Come on, come on. Now we have 3 German infantry at 2 or less. No hits, thank God. Third round of combat. 1 infantry and 1 artillery at 2 or less. No hits. 1 tank, 3 or less. And no hit. 2 German infantry at 2 or less. Pair of 6. What the fuck is going on, guys? Okay, let's roll again. 1 infantry and 1 artillery at 2 or less. 5 and 4. Okay. 1 tank at 3 or less. A 5. Okay. Let me get this here. Now 2 infantry, German infantry at 2 or less. Okay, 1 hit. And a 5. So I'm going to remove the UK infantry. 1 artillery at 2 or less. A 4. Now 1 tank at 3 or less. Finally, 1 hit. Now 2 German infantry at 2 or less. 4 and 3. So I remove 1 German infantry. 1 artillery at 2 or less. Finally, 1, 2. Jesus Christ, guys. Now 1 German infantry at 2 or less. It's a 5. So France is captured and 1 artillery and 1 tank are remaining there. I am doing my non-combat movements. Okay, non-combat movements. From Transjordan, 1 artillery is going to move into Persia, and 2 infantry and 1 tank into Anglo-Egypt, Sudan. Now, from Union of South Africa, 1 infantry and 1 artillery will move into Rhodesia, and the transport in season 27 is going to move into season 33. Right, from the battle in season 5, the bomber is going to return into the United Kingdom, and the fighter is going to move with 2 movements remaining, 1 and 2, into Sea Zone 7 for the incoming carrier. From Sea Zone 2, the destroyer is going to move 1 and 2 into Sea Zone 7. And from Western Canada, 1 infantry is going to move into Eastern Canada. Placing units, the carrier is going to be placed in Sea Zone 7, therefore the fighter is going to land there. Come on. That's it. Well, yeah, you guessed it, the industrial complex is going to be placed in India. Right, now collecting income, the UK is collecting a total of 37 IPCs, plus 5 for holding Egypt, Australia, South Africa, Eastern Canada, Western Canada, and Gibraltar, and plus another 5 for controlling France. So I'm getting a total of 47 IPCs for the next round. Now, recap of the board. Right, we have 1 infantry in New Zealand, 3 infantry, 1 AA gun in Australia. Come on, focus, that's it. 3 infantry, 1 industrial complex, 1 AA gun in India, 1 infantry, 1 artillery in Persia, 1 infantry in Transjordan, 1 infantry in Egypt, 2 infantry, 1 tank in Anglo-Egypt, Sudan, 1 infantry, 1 artillery in Rhodesia, 1 transport in Sea Zone 33. We have 2 infantry in Eastern Canada, Sea Zone 7, 2 cruisers, 1 battleship, 1 destroyer carrier with 1 fighter, 2 transports, and in the UK, 1 infantry, 1 AA gun, 1 tank, 1 bomber from the UK, and 1 bomber from the USA. That's all for now. Next to go, it's Italy. Good luck, man.